Hello, good evening. Welcome back to Eloquent English Enterprise. It's been quite some time since I uploaded the last video, but I'm sure I'm back with more meaningful content for today. So, without wasting any further time, let me launch today's video. This is very important, and I'll request you to watch it till the end because this is something which is of great importance to all the educators today, right? And this is something which is related to the future life of all our students. So please do not miss it. It's my sincere request. Watch the video till the end, right? So here it is. I'll share the screen. And here we are. Okay. So welcome to my channel once again. And this is the topic for today. Essential skills for a smooth transition from a student or from studenthood to being a professional. In other words, if I may say, it is equipping the future workforce. Because as I'm going to discuss with all of you, that the traditional model of education, it was generally focused on rote learning and the knowledge of a particular subject. So this was the old model of education. That traditional model is no longer sufficient for the demands of the 21st century workplace. Because today the employers seek well-rounded individuals with a diverse skill set which goes beyond textbooks, right? Today employers are not wanting, those kinds of parrots who would mug up things and just, paste the subject matter on their uh, exam papers. They want skilled workers for their offices and companies. They want something beyond textual knowledge. Today, there's a lot of importance of integrating managerial, behavioral, analytical, reasoning, and vocational skills into the school curriculum so that we just do not get very academically oriented students when they pass out, but they are well-rounded individuals. They are actually ones who have been through holistic education, which makes them a complete person and not just those who are brilliant in academics, right? And also, today the curriculum needs to prepare students for a very smooth transition from studenthood to being responsible professionals because that's the need of the day today, right? We want students, when they leave their school, they do not have to look around for experience. They come out as experienced people who can venture into any field of their choice and emerge as victorious, as victors. So I'll remove myself from here because the screen gets blocked. All right. So here we are. Now, the first set of skills that we need are managerial skills because today, leadership is the first one out of them. And this means that schools can nurture or they must nurture leadership qualities by fostering collaborative learning and that kind of environment where there is a lot of collaboration. And they also must encourage students to take initiatives in group projects or presentations. So what we can do as teachers is that we make groups for different subjects and different topics, and we keep changing the leader so that everybody gets a chance to be the leader or to be a leader in a particular group. So they learn. Leadership is very important because when they grow up, they have to be they have to ultimately rise to be good and efficient leaders. The next one, which again forms a very important part of their skill set, is time management. We need to equip our students with the time management strategies, which are good ones. And this can be done by, you know, having project deadlines made for them, and also to give them certain organizational techniques so that they can prepare themselves to handle very demanding workloads, and also be able to prioritize their work and have a work-life balance also. Because too much of work is going to actually make them into machines. So teaching them how to manage time through practical experience and practical projects should be a part of our curriculum. The next managerial skill is delegation. We cannot do anything on our own. The tasks have to be divided, they have to be delegated. So we must, as educators, create opportunities for students to delegate tasks within their groups when they're doing a project, which allows them to understand what is team dynamics, all right? What is team building and how to manage a team. And then also they should look for effective resource allocation. So these three managerial skills are of utmost importance. The next set of skills are behavioral skills. So the first one is communication. I'm sure all of you will agree that communication is the main vein of the body if we come to a work environment. Because without communication, nothing is possible. So effective communication, which is both written and verbal, is definitely very, very crucial for success in any career. So schools can integrate communication workshops, debates, presentations, etc. in their curriculum so that children become good communicators. The next skill is teamwork, as I mentioned earlier. We need to, bring them to have collaborative projects and group discussions. We must encourage a lot of teamwork and also see that team-based learning activities are made an integral part of their curriculum, because these are going to foster teamwork skills, and they will allow, or they will make students to learn their work in an effective and well-tailored manner with diverse personalities and backgrounds, to work with people of different kinds of, skill sets, different kinds of people, because every individual is different. So our students are going to learn how to make a team work. The third of behavioral skills are problem-solving skills, because problems are there at every step in whatever we or they may do. So teachers need to give them or project them to open-ended questions. There can be role-playing scenarios, and also case studies must be encouraged so that students can develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills, because these skills are very essential to overcome challenges in the workplace in future. The next set of skills are analytical skills. Now, to analyze a situation, right? So the first one is data analysis, which has become a big thing. It's the in thing today. So what is data analysis? It is a collection of data of various types and then analyzed to decide what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is essential, what is non-essential. So data analysis is absolutely essential and makes a huge part of any organization. So our students must be exposed to data analysis tools and techniques, and this can be done through projects and assignments which equip them to interpret data, come to conclusions, and also make informed decisions, right? Like, for example, students can be told to interview 10 people, the elders who are in the age group of 35 to 45 years, and put questions to them that when you were in school, what were your plans? Ultimately, which career did you choose and why? What are the pros and cons of this? So when they go through this data collection, they'll be able to analyze which career was suited to them or not suited to them, which career was very popular and which wasn't as popular as the others. So they'll get to know what is data analytics all about. The next one is critical thinking. This is absolutely mandatory because today critical thinking has been made into an integral part of our curriculum. So we must encourage our students to question, to analyze, and to evaluate the information which they have received. And this allows them to develop a critical thinking mindset. And this mindset helps them to navigate the complexities of the professional world. So they must know that when there is a particular problem or if they're in a certain situation, how well and how quickly they can get out of that situation. How can they solve that problem with the ability to be thinking in a critical manner, in the best possible manner. The third set in analytical skills are research skills. Now you'll say, students research, of course. They must be exposed to such things at an early age and stage, because research is not always, rocket science. It can be something simpler at school stage. So firstly, teachers should, or the educators or facilitators should make students understand what exactly research means and how can these skills be developed. So different research methods have to be taught, or they must be made to experience, because that is going to empower the students to find reliable information. They'll be able to evaluate resources, and also they'll be able to synthesize their findings. They'll be able to conclude after getting all the data. And these skills are applicable to any academic pursuit as well as any professional pursuit. All right. So research skills, again, it has to be from simple to complex. We are not exposing them to very, very difficult kind of research, but something simpler, like what are the effects of pollution. So let them go out and find out why and how such things can be avoided. Pollution of different ways and, different types. All right. So students have to be told to make their own research. All right. Next, we come to reasoning skills. Now, reasoning skills, again, are of three types. The first is logical reasoning. It's based on your own sense of logic. Like, for example, some reasoning exercises, puzzles, debates, style discussions, etc. I remember when we were young, we used to, we had competition success review coming to us, and there used to be a reasoning ability test. So, like if there's a set of pictures, 4 pictures they have given, and the 5th one has to be decided by us. And it has to be chosen from the 4 options which are given. So you choose the best option. Again, there's a set of words, and what is going to be the next one? You are given 4 choices, you have to select. So how and why do you select that particular answer? That shows how logical you are. So these are logical reasoning exercises which must be implemented. Next one, we come to decision making. Now, whenever we are in any position, when our students get to that position where they have to take certain decisions, they must be good decision makers, because one wrong decision is going to cause them a lot of harm. So how do we do that? We let them go through case studies and simulations. They have to be put into that situation. It can be a virtual one, of course. So these simulations can definitely help our students to develop their decision-making skills, because they can now analyze situations, they can weigh the pros and cons of different options available, and also they have to think about the possible consequences. So decision has to be made as per the consequence that you can foresee. So decision-making is a very important reasoning skill. Adaptability. We know every living thing or even non-living things, they adapt themselves to the environment. Stones that flow with a river, they become rounded. Plants, when they have to, they have to acclimatize to the situation around them, the environment, they also adapt. They make a lot of changes in themselves, right? For example, if there's a creeper, it's not able to stand on its own, so it develops tendrils so that it can hold on to other things and grow. In the desert, there are cacti where leaves turn into thorns. So that transpiration rate can be minimized. So adaptability, again, is very important in our lives, because if other things can adapt themselves, that humans definitely should. So adaptability, in a nutshell, it encourages students to think creatively and solve problems in unconventional manners, because there is an ever-evolving environment around us, and the things are getting modernized. So they have to adapt themselves to the needs and the situation which they may be into in their future as a part of the workforce. Vocational skills now, because ultimately they have to go and they have to take up a vocation, they have to work. So the first one in this is career exploration. Schools must make a lot of careers available to their students, not careers as such, but information about careers, different kinds of careers related to the subject choice which they have made. So for this, what can a school do? They must introduce career exploration programs. We can have guest speaker sessions from different professions, sometimes from the army, sometimes a very good medical doctor, sometimes even, those who've done doctorates, those who are PhD holders. We can have engineers from, say, the metro rail, to make the students aware about the situation when such things are done, when such projects are carried out. So they can see and they can explore, they can identify their potential career paths when they grow up. So when they have a choice, then they can select. Earlier, there was just become a doctor, become an engineer, that's it. But no, today they have millions of careers in front of them. Technical skills, basic computer skills, digital literacy programs, industry-specific software training, etc. These are the technical skills that we as facilitators or in the school can expose our students to and make them technically strong, technically skilled. Because this is going to provide a foundation to our students to enter different professional fields, which are probably technical in nature. And this, again, is not engineering or rocket science. This could be something like, to getting into the fashion industry or to become a textile expert. So again, these things are technical. Okay. Again, something really important is financial literacy. We earn money, but we do not know how to manage it. So we must make our students learn about financial management, what is budgeting, how to take credit, how to use credit. So this is going to empower them to make a sound financial decision for themselves throughout their lives. All right. So these were the 5 very important skills that we need to incorporate in our curriculum. So how is this going to help our students? What are the benefits of a skills-based curriculum or skill-based curriculum? Firstly, schools can now very easily and efficiently prepare their students for a more seamless transition into the professional world. The students will not be, at a loss when they come out of school after their class 12. They would know what they are supposed to do in the professional world. This is going to increase their employability. Why? Because those graduates who are equipped with all of these skills which I mentioned, they are more attractive. They attract potential employers because they possess a very well-rounded skill set which is needed to thrive in their workplace. It improves their confidence. When our students master these skills, it fosters a sense of self-confidence and also a sense of preparedness. And this allows our students to navigate the job market and professional challenges which come by and by. And they can navigate with a lot of ease and comfort. They are not agitated, they're not perturbed by the different kinds of challenges which they have to come across when they go out to work professionally. Lifelong learning. these skills which we teach them or which we inculcate, you cannot teach a skill, you inculcate a skill. So these skills that we inculcate amongst our students or in our students, they are going to, they are quite transferable in nature, and they are applicable to all kinds of careers and different kinds of situations that our students might have to come across as they grow, because then they will become adaptable to situations, to difficult situations, and they will also become lifelong learners. To conclude, we can say that today the world of work is constantly evolving. It has been evolving earlier, it is still evolving, and it will keep on evolving. So the education system needs to keep pace with this evolution. If we integrate, or when we integrate these skills, managerial, behavioral, analytical, reasoning, and vocational skills into the school curriculum, we will succeed in equipping our students with the tools that they need to become good and sound professionals in their future. And this is going to help them not only succeed in the professional field, but also they become responsible, well-rounded, well-versed individuals who are ready to tackle any and all challenges that may lie ahead in their lives as they move ahead. So thank you, dear viewers, for your precious time. I hope, though this presentation was long, but I'm sure it's going to help you as facilitators, as educators, as teachers, and please try to inculcate these skills amongst your students, because it's going to help them in a very long, long way. I hope you liked the presentation, and if you did, please do give me a few thumbs up. I have given you quite a bit of, a break and interval, because back-to-back videos, I think, were becoming too much for my viewers. So if you like it, please do share your thoughts through the comment section. I'll be really grateful. So till I come back, it's me signing off, and I'll be back soon. So have a good day. God bless you all. Take care.